All right, it's good to have you join us again today. This is Touchpoint, and you are well aware it's a no-hold-barred conversation right on this show. For a while now in Ogun State, there have been a whole lot of dragging of the governor and indeed his government by the CUPP. One began to wonder what the underlying factor is. But you know how we do it. We ask the question for you, and it's basically because your interest is always at the forefront. My name is Desmond Wajuku, and it's good to have you join us. I have on the show today the chairman of CUPP in Ogun State. He is Otumba Dr. Femi Soluade.
Thank you very much for that answer.
Okay, now let's move on. CUPP, Coalition of United Political Parties. I'd like you to differentiate that from IPAC. Any similarity or any common interests? What's the difference?
Yeah, it's two different dichotomies in here, right? IPAC, Interparty Advisory Council, was established by Code of Conduct. Their position is advisory to the government of the state and the federal. While CUPP, Coalition of United Political Parties, was established by Memorandum of Association. It consists of all registered political parties, some still very actively registered political parties, political association, and as well as members of the parliament.
Irrespective of whatever political party they belong.
Irrespective of whatever political party you belong. In fact, as a matter of fact, the ruling party, APC, is also a bona fide member of this group by default. But when it suits them, naturally, they are supposed to be in the front line of the advocacy for good governance. But they are the ruling party. The job that was left undone, we have to take it headlong and do it, because we're out for advocacy for good governance. It was established as a watchdog for a government of the state or the federal level, and to also propagate fairness, equity, and justice to everybody, to all parties, whether you belong to any political parties or you are just a citizen of that state or our country at large.
I understand that these groups, whether the CUPP or IPAC or any other political association, like you put it, that the underlying interest is just a way. I put it the way it's said on the street, job for the boys. That's basically what you are all out, make money from the government.
But for all I know, and for the benefit of insight, and for people who does not have an insight, the full knowledge, because it is preposterous to speak about an issue that you don't have the full knowledge. No, that is not correct. We are out for good governance. How much is government going to give to us for us to go through this struggle? It is important to us that the season of politicking is not here. It is season for government, the governors, to get down to work. We have a lot of slogans while they're coming. We have 5 agendas, we have 6 agendas, and we are scrutinizing those agendas one by one and make sure they carry through all the promise our citizens. It's not about us. It is about the citizenry. It's about our people. It's about the state citizens. It's about them to enjoy the dividend of democracy. It's about them to put food on their table.
Now that you mentioned the Ogun State government, what exactly is the challenge you have with Ogun State government under the leadership of Govr Dapo Abiodun?
Well, it will interest you to know that members of CUPP and IPAC by extension, we are friends to the governor, Govr Dapo Abiodun. All we are advocating for is for him to do what he has promised to do. We have maybe 2 years and some months for him to do. It is important for him to leave a good legacy it is important for him to, to put his all his activities so that it will, all his activities to put his feet on the sands of time when he leaves, so that it will be easy for the incoming government to take it on from there. But if you leave a lot of things that you're supposed to do undone, then when another government comes in, it's going to start all over. And we want to put a stop to this issue of not having a succession plan in Ogun State. And number two is that all those abandoned projects that is very common of influence that say, yeah, because I don't like yesterday's governor's face, then I have to abandon that property. It's our money that is being wasted. It is a colossal waste for us. And when you want to start another project, fine, it's good for you to be creative when you are in government. But of course, all those laudable projects that were on ground, that were left unfinished, because government is a continuum.
It is on record that Dapo Abiodun is one governor who did not abandon the project of his predecessor. We could point to one or two or three of projects that he made that were commenced under the administration of Senator Ibekula Amosu that he completed.
No, there are quite a lot of folks that are in dilapidating situation right now.
Tell me about
even at the central, only when we went to town like a town crier that he started, doing some palliatives, which is not a bad idea. Okay. And we also have it across all the tourist industrial districts. You cannot deny that, because I continue to say that I am yet, or the CUPP is yet to find out where the strength of our present governor lies. We can deduce the strength of the yesterday governor in bridges, road connectivity, in the central, and other senatorial is there for records. We can also talk about the immediate former governor, what he was able to do, opening the states to commercial activities. Once a sleeping giant was suddenly reawoken, and we have such a beautiful social life in Ogun State. All those things are not in existence there.
But I like the fact that you referenced the Otuba Gbenga Daniels administration. I'm particularly interested in the fact that you said it was a transparent government.
Yeah.
I recall that. In which area exactly, or in specific term, are you saying you were transparent? In terms of governance, in terms of financial management, what exactly?
In terms of financial management, in terms of governance, in terms of policies. In our board, my governor will call the board members and call the commissioners. So what are your challenges here? Let us address it together. Okay? I remember a time too that there was no money, and we had to make do with the internet generated revenue of this general hospital to run the hospital at that particular time, as it was quite awesome. The roads were, the result is still there.
Otumba.
Yeah.
But the same man you claim was transparent, financially in particular, was afterwards arraigned by the EFCC. And I also recall at that time that the Ogun State House of Assembly deprived him the opportunity of taking a loan at that point in time.
What we were trying to do at that particular time was to destabilize his government. I know, I don't want to mention name here because on the air, I know those people, some of the House of Assembly members that went to Lagos, particularly living in Lagos, and they are throwing stone. And it is only a bastard that will, that will back his house, back the street, and peace into his house. And they did that to frustrate his achievement. If EFCC, we should know the antics of EFCC. You don't have to be a corporate before EFCC have to, be up, look up, try to be up to you. Someone just have to write a petition. Some people just don't have to like your face, just like we are doing. So does it mean that the governor in some areas is not doing his work? Yes, he's doing his work in some areas, and give kudos to him. But those things that were left undone were more than what he's supposed to do by now, because at least 6 years is gone.
What exactly is the reason you don't want to mention the name of those who said were practically living in Lagos at that time?
No, it's not necessary. The history is there for everybody to see. As a citizen of Ogun State, we know what panned out at that particular time. So it is evergreen. We know them. And those are the people that try to frustrate the administration of that government. You don't necessarily need to be a bad man before you can be called a bad name in order to crucify you. So these people we're talking about, some of them were the first administration of this government. It's no more there. We also have one of our brothers that is more or less like a nomadic politician. Every government goes there. You see, because in Yoruba they say somebody is a danger mobile, that you have a serpent on your head. But we say in politics, there is no get out. What is getting here? Both the ugly, the beautiful, and
The good.
the good, the bad, and the ugly. And in politics, it depends on the value that you have. If you have a good value, yeah, they use it for that value. If you have the contrary value, you're also useful. If you are good in paparazzi, yeah, they know who, at what point to tap that resources. If you can contribute meaningfully, they know at what point, but everybody is useful in politics. That is why you continue to find these people not having a second address, they still entrench themselves in any government that comes. They are always, around the corridor of power. Like, as this administration is going through its twilight now, we can identify some of them that are already romancing some aspirants, even though not declared, because this is not the time for politics to declare any aspirants. And that is even the reason why we must admonish our governor to continue to govern us without even, because we don't want any distraction, so that it doesn't look as if it is a distraction that made him not to carry out his promises to the people of Ogun State. Yes.
The media was awash with all sort of stories, different headlines. Vanguard had what they called Ogun CUPP accuses Govr Abiodun of nepotism appointment. Daily Trust said Abiodun Ogun CUPP clash over alleged poor governance. CUPP Ogun government trade tackles over neglect of development.
Yeah.
Now, what exactly is the issue CUPP is having with Govr Dapo Abiodun?
So many issues are there, but we can only be economic about the issues now until we have a larger medium for us to express ourselves. The issue of not being fair, the issue of not coming to equity is there. A certain senatorial district, specifically my senatorial district, because I'm not a bastard, the central, we're not having enough representation in this government. We know that some of the major appointments were students to the east. I have no issues. CUPP do not have issues or malice against our brother because we are brothers, or the Ijebu people, the Yewa people. When you look at it, we are all interwoven. But what is just. And that is why we are admonishing our governor to do what is right and correct what is right. Because we cannot say, okay, because this governor or the government of yesterday was wrong, then I have to be wrong in my own, you understand? So that is what we are trying to say. Now, the issue of the sacred, they call something the sacred place. Certain lands that were given when Ogun State was established have now been taken over, sold to governor's pony, although it's still an allegation, and that is why we're employing the government or the governor representatives to come claim and explain to us.
What exactly do you want them to explain?
A lot of those lands were given out. We don't know.
Just a moment. Where exactly is this land you're talking?
It's within Ibarra Estate and some other estates like that, some Princess Estate, and all of that. Yes. So these lands were given out without bidding. These lands were given out to people who do not know. 10 plots of lands were given to an individual, 7 allegedly at this point. And that is why we are saying the governor or the spokesperson should complain instead of going after the messenger. It is the message that matters. They should address the message. Although this issue is still ongoing, there's caveats. We have given about 7 days. 7 days has left. And our intention is to go to court if the governor refuses to address the issues head on. Instead of addressing this issue, we are being persecuted, we are being followed about. And that is why we have to cry wolf. We are not even crying wolf, we have to cry loud and clear, we have to cry, to the public, and we have to write petition to the federal government, to the presidency, we write petition to the GSS at the national level, we also write petition to IG, and we write petition to other institutions. About 4 petitions were sent out because it's like we begin to see church, we begin to see people, after our lives. And our lives is very important. What is important to us is to see to the good governance of the state, not to be persecuted or not to be,
Are you suggesting that the Ogun State government is actually after your life?
You see, because we know part of the antics of the government. We also know before now that they are going to send their goons after us. After us. We know a particular member of this administration that is stopping trade is to write petition to DSS when anybody speak up. Is to write petition to the police. They have invited us, and we have said our own side of the story. But thankfully, the leadership of the present DSS, they are very professional. They are quite engaging, and we had a meaningful discussion, good conversation that we have to leave satisfied. And so because we left that place satisfied, and of course we got to know that it is not about the government making use of them like an instrument, but they have a job to do to protect the interests of the government and also protect the interests of the citizens. And all those things that we're talking about is to avoid them doing a lot of jobs too. Because if you call the government attention to some issues and they address that issue, then there will be no issues on the street. There will be, it will lessen some insecurities in the states.
You see, I am interested in that particular area that you are. Yeah. But first, you talked about you being with some sort, some people following you about.
Exactly. There's evidence to that at the appropriate time.
Okay, now let me first get this correct. Who are these following you? You also mentioned petition to the police. Is it the law enforcement agents that are following up with you, or agents of government?
Well, in this scenario, you cannot pinpoint to a particular person because the government of the day and our governor is a person of interest. Person of interest is that, okay, and he will have his sympathizers. Even though as laudable as a fake what we're doing to change the status quo, to make things work, some people who are beneficiaries of this rottenness will still go after people who speak up. And for a good 6 years, there have never been opposition in the states. Because we just felt one time was not enough. Although in another parliament, they say it's only when you don't pass and then you go for second support. In politics, it's like you have 8 years to go. Those things that you were able to do, during the first term, then you consolidate and begin to do them. Okay, and this is the reason why we came out and say, okay, there must be equity, there must be fairness, there must be justice in the distribution of appointments. Let it go general. We're all Ogun State citizens. We are not talking about us. I don't need their appointment. We've been able to contribute. We can contribute to the governance in our own vintage points. All of us cannot be governor at the same time or commissioner at the same time. But you have some ideas, even in America or elsewhere where democracies thrive. They bring in some opposition to come and help them do it. You don't think you have all the residual of knowledge, or you go to Lagos and bring your friends, or go to Ondo and bring your friends and say, come and take from this, okay, whereas we have thousands and one of people in Ogun State, 1,001 in the central that can occupy that position. For instance, we have the substantial position in the commission for so the information, yes, information commission. So we don't have substantial. I'm appealing. I'm using this medium to appeal to people. So either take somebody from the central or from the east, because central is a senatorial district that is task oriented that will have all professionals named. They are available, the best journalists. They are here. They are also in the Yabo, with all, I'm not being biased this time around, but it is equity, that fairness is what we are advocating about, that it should be there.
But the Ministry of Information is not lacking leadership, is it?
When you have an assistant or an advisor, that is not a substantial position. As far as I'm concerned, you see, the Ministry of Information has one job to go to launder the image of the government, yes, and the activities of the government. If we have enough of that, maybe we don't have reason to come out. But nobody is showing us what government has done, what this government has done. We don't even know where the strength of our government lies. I've just told you that we know where the strength of the yesterday government and yesterday.
Who exactly is yesterday governor? Let me understand this.
The immediate governor is there. The immediate past governor.
Senator Ibikule
We know all bridges, roads, quite a lot of connectivities, feeder roads and the major roads. In fact, there was a lot of palliatives still did at the federal road at that particular time for ease of movement of the citizen of Sudan. That is what we are advocating for. Going back memory lane, during the administration of Brigadier, we have Ogoma. They have a ministry for Ogoma. They have bitumen, they have granite dust, they have equipment, they have earth movers, and they have people in that ministry. So they do a lot of palliatives on the street. When there's potholes, because the way they have already done that. I don't know why it is easy for us to abandon the laudable ideas because we do not like the government. In my boss too, at that particular time, when we know that we have that of health workers, we improvised. We now decided that, okay, because at that particular time, Lagos, Ibadan, and we just able to pay higher than Ogun State hospital management was health body. And we formulate a policy that any doctor that we want to have will live within the vicinity of that general hospital. And we give them houses, we give them cars, to make them stay. And majority that was when the flights to Lagos or the state that we pay better than us stopped. We have Ogun State medical, departments. Even at a particular time, we have to cross it, Ogun Plus. What to do majorly is to help the institution. That is when we put which local government will do it, state government will do it, and we'll get other sponsors from outside. But I remember then that our governor, being a very social person, and a member of one international group, brought a lot of Indians periodically from India to check eye. That was when I was saying that this eye is like a ball. So most of the old women, they were 80 years, 70 years that are not see, they receive their eyes. It was quite awesome. So people who has issue with Twitter and all of that went through minor operations, and we take it to each local government. And in fact, every local government chairman were now desirous of this development. All of them were queuing up at the ministry that it is my turn, it is my turn, we have the money. And that was when these people, the local government chairman, were given that opportunity to do their money sharing for the benefit of their positions.
Have you tried? You talked about going to court over this information Act you.
Yeah, Information Act.
Did you try engaging the government before adopting that approach?
You see, this government have a way of doing their thing. Before now, there have been several complaints. It is an open secret that people are suffering. Even though one school of thought will say, yeah, it is not a mistake that is suffering, it is general. But we are not particular about it. You see, because I have to be me before I can talk about us. I have to love myself before I can love another person. So it's about our state that we're talking about now. Okay? So all of these things, governments, we have some hardliners within this administration that will not allow the government to listen. They will say, oh, their bread and butter is ready politicians. They are looking for cheap money. Do I look like somebody who is suffering, so punished that I'll have to go to the government's house? We've done that in the past, going to the government's house, sleeping there. But how can we continue? We have to change the status quo. We cannot, you say we cannot continue to, okay, if you're giving a 50 bag of rice for the full body to go back to operating, how many of those bags are you going to share? You cannot even share the members of your party, not to talk of the populace. So I don't like my conscience being brought over.
I need you to speak further to that. You have not really particularly told those who said were after you. And then you even went ahead to say you've got evidence to that fact. Who are those?
We are on the air right now. And you see, you cannot, when we came out, we are all free citizens and free born of these states. And we should be able to go about our duties, come back from Lagos or anywhere and come back home and do our politics. But when it comes to being pursued, not only me, but three of us, I still have my car. For the past 2 weeks, I have to leave the car there. I have the evidence of shots against me. As Panchek area, I don't know them. I cannot say it's government. I cannot say this. But then they said which cried yesterday and the baby died today. Who does not know that it was the witch of yesterday that killed the baby of today? Who does not know that? But they say, yeah, they are a bunch of irresponsible people who are looking irresponsible. The members of CUPP people are not responsible, even though we have some young men among the chairman of political parties. Because you have to give them a chance to grow. They have to learn the ropes. It is not, by now, some of us supposed to have been tired, not even taking that mantle, but it becomes a necessity for us to say, okay, now I am the current chairman of ADC. My confidence always beginning the party leadership that I should be positioned that happy jobs. Ordinarily, I'm a stakeholder in this at the federal level for crying out loud. I am the DG, I should be able to maintain the diaspora. I know when we have to shut down, prior to the election, shut down airports, hotel, about 56, 47 for other purposes. We're not doing it then, we're not doing it because of money. We're doing it because we know that it's the man who will work for the health. And I have no regrets. Say, any president travel that for the country, it's not there for purpose to bring investors and money. It's not just getting just because he likes to be in flight. It's even stressful to be in flight. Because I've flown more than 1,000 times in a flight. So, and I know, while I'm still living anyway in my life, so, and I know that it's not easy for him to pay not to buy the body from the source of assistance in international program. And that is what we are advocating, that our government too should not be perennial big crashers as stay back up, turn around the button of the good. Let us know, let the citizen know your citizen for good. Leave a good legacy. When you go to say, oh, yes, during the time of that. So again, I'm not because I'm biased that I was trying to balance the administration of my boss, this government, this as well. But it's just because it's said well. It's a statement of facts. Okay? Now, this is a governor, Ashwani Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He can throw out the policy. throughout the world. When it is not working, we should play because we have to fix it. It's successive. It's prepared for that job. It's not an accidentally as far as I'm concerned.
But he didn't withdraw the policy of subsidy removal.
Yes. But you should know that no pain, no pain, no gain.
In the case of the tax reform, even some governors, the body of governors actually requested that he withdraw the bill, but he insisted on going ahead with it.
You know, because I believe it's a matter of conviction. So if he believes in certain things, he carry it through. Like, okay, now, the only thing that we have to do is engineering and engineering of this policy and the end of it. Because I've seen merits in all of this. I'm not trying to, because I'm an opposition, then I have to have a blanket condemnation of another political party. No, that is it. I mean, that is not it. As far as Soluade is concerned, Soluade is trying, this an old man, but his friend is peace.
Now, you were shot at checking after falling out the governor, as you claim, to do the right thing.
The dent is on my glass.
Okay?
And part of my bonus too. Yeah. And there and then, the balloon of my car went down. And they've still not been able to fix it. I have to come from Lagos with another car as I speak to you.
Would it be that there is a particular squad in the government house?
I'm not saying that. I'm not sure. I can't be. There are sort of things I do not have full. But I also don't think Govr Dapo Abiodun has that such tendencies. Even though we are here trying to advocate for good governance and equity and all of this, I don't think he's a gentleman, and I believe, like I said, that in every organization, in every government, you have some selfish left, some headline. But if you don't listen to them, it's money there. Yeah, if you give us money, we take because you are general patron. Let's not be shy about that. If you ask us to come to the round table with you, one of our past leaders asked us to have a dinner with you, yeah, we will go. Because if it's not about your money, it is our money.
Okay. My concern really is that you actually, linked the incident to your call out of the government, and then you particularly said the Yoruba proverb of the witch, the crime, yes, the night before, and the child died in the morning, which is an indication that perhaps that incident could be traceable to your position or the activity that you carried out that has to do with
Sure. I believe that's so because it has never happened, and none of our members, even myself, have thought such man. It's I've never had such experience this period. I may not know. You know that governments, people who are particular for this, for watching it, I say, these people completely get they want to spoil my business. Sympathizer might be anybody, and that was the reason why we cried out.
Might be sympathizer, might not come directly from the government, but you are convinced that it has to do with
our outboards. Not even outboards, our advocacy for good governance, equities, and asking the government that just giving contract out to your friends' houses, or their patrimony, etc. You don't give it to people who do not know. No giving, no financial for the approvals, there's no technicals for the approvals, so enable to know that we actually qualify for this. So we cannot just build the house that will not stand the test of time.
How did you know that there were not these things were not?
And that is because, yes, we have an idea. We even have more information by the government. But like the Bible say, if is loud, one of is life. We are short of saying more than we know. But all I'm saying now is that the governor has not done the right thing. And if he feels that we are trying to just cry foul where there's none, then we should make use of this opportunity to annex freedom of information. Company, go to the press, or address issues as such. But instead of doing that, is widows, partners, or their politicians, they don't have to talk. Instead of that, we know the ethics of it. That is politics, it's political talk, so we are used to that. It doesn't matter to us. What is important to us is the message that is sent. But we are still using this opportunity to remind him of what's the restriction time setting, so that they can address the issue of government information. Failure to do that. We already given that ability to solicitor, and it's working hard on it. In few days' time, this will be worked.
I'm a little bit concerned about the timing of this, your advocacy. I'm concerned because one, I heard that you started all of this when the governor stopped the subvention that was given to the leadership of political parties, and secondly, I am concerned about the fact that this could be targeted towards strategizing for 2027 general election. Why do you wait till now?
Well, we're not in this, in all of this to promote any aspirants or any interests. We still have for the election year will start for possibly next year. That is when activity will start. And we do not have anybody in mind. But we won't be shocked to say we are doing well. Doing well. We know some of the senators that are doing well for their communities we are this. That is not an endorsement to say, okay, this is where we tilt or we tilt. No, that's it. And this period is a period for the government to pass over this or whatever I feel is achieved. And we don't have business to come to government to ask for this academy. It's war. If some things are not there for no, if there is no, if there have been issues in fairness in distribution of our common rights, you have not tampered with the sacred land. We call it sacred land, we call it sacred land. We don't have to do that. We have a lot of bush that you can, a new location, there are quite a lot of lands that belongs to the government that in the no-go area. Why don't you go and open up a new site, open up a new city, okay, instead of coming to where, or especially the center of special purpose.
Is your concern really about the bidding and all that, or that this affects Eba land, Ogun Central in particular? Which of them is your major concern?
Yeah, it is quite laudable because tariffs on automobiles, CUPP or the leadership of CUPP or some of us are actually look at the environment. They are pursuing the agenda. There's nothing like the agenda in this. It is about doing what is right for him to do with this and a simple.
Do you believe in Eba agenda? You have it?
Oh yes, I believe in the agenda. Yes, of course. Politically, Eba agenda is an idea that its time has come. Its time has been there. Eba agenda is a beautiful coming together of the Eba people to fraternize amongst themselves, to look at what is best for them at one time or the other, what is politically, economically, socially. So every bona fide son of the soil and freeborn of the government should fit into that vision.
Do you see the actualization? What's the possibility of 2027?
Like I said, now, we are working with.
No, I'm not asking questions.
No, at the appropriate time, we see how we go finance. But let me tell you, if an government comes up, I'll throw my body I'll throw my hands, I'll throw my legs in like put out in Agiri. Only Kakakoma Atara. But if we still have another viable, very vibrant person from the now come on board, of course, we use our structure to support him. Also, my party too. People are coming, but just strategizing and we're positioning the party. Who knows? Maybe it's my party that is going to throw up the next government, the governor of the states. And because we are working towards achieving all achievable possibilities, politics from 2027.
In Egbaland, tell me that one candidate that you think has the weight, the capacity, the clout to be governor in 2026.
I won't be particular about so that it does because I have to be very careful not to cause bias in the choice of who the providence is going to throw up. Okay? But I tell you this for free that at the central, England has more than 2,000 qualified and I'm not qualified for the government. What are you going to go and grandstone there? It is your experience in your technocrat, it's your experience that you want to bring to bear your business and your business agreement and your idea, your social life, all of this things has effect in governance of any state. It is very, very important that such person who want to cover, not be timid.
Will you be courageous to tell me, courageous enough to tell me, who in actual sense, deep inside of you, should produce the governor in 2027? Egba or Duwala?
No, it's an aberration.
That's Egba and Duwala. I'm looking at
this is a naughty question. You see, let's go to the field. I cannot think. We have to go to the field. Let the time of politics be there first.
Okay. Now, you talked about, as we begin to round up now, you talked about common patrimony. You said, oh, if they claim that you want to do this for money, yes, if you're offered money, you're going to take it. Tell me, how much will the government give you to make you step down on this whole issue?
Unfortunately, I do not have a price.
But I'm told that every human being has price.
Yes, and that's at a critical point in time, that is what you can say. And any man that was at a particular kind of speaking, yes, all of these things that we say, I read those issues. Usually, I can say, okay, you're doing work. At least we spoke on radio, and we said, okay, we love his immediate response to our Yanni, that we saw him, and then we saw the tractors, moving around the senatorial district, specifically some areas in even and somewhere around the E4 area. And government where the government went there to start all of this. They were there before, but it was nonchalant because we tried out. So we are not there to have a total blanket of funding. Now if you do well, there is a platform, we will encourage him to come out and say, okay, this is this. But yes, somebody have to do it because we don't have time, we check time.
Isn't this a confirmation that all these agitations are because the governor, after his re-election, decided to call off any engagement with any political party under any guise?
That the governor's not.
Let me know that political party. I am aware that before the election there was some synergy. But surely after, he doesn't need you for your time.
Yes, see, nobody is it's a house we use. That was why I said it's not because God to kill the baby to help in us. So we can stand the baby so that we don't have any problems.
Yes, it's all government.
I do not, but I just told you there was government of state unity during Otuba, people who work. Now, I told you I was the DG, Shwari Bola Messi. I'm also the DG for the state. My people work, all the leaders, they work for this job. While I was in Lagos working, some are here. I have a particular place that is in this government. I was mobilizing them. We're not getting money. So the best I can say before God and mind that not a dime was given to me because my interest is for the second coming of Govr Dapo Abiodun. Ditto to some of our young, chairmen of different political parties who went into, collaborating with him and even standing with him in the time of trouble.
But we Govr Dapo Abiodun calling you to a meeting now make any difference.
It doesn't matter to us at all. And we are concerned about this for governance and for him to complain about all this allegation because it's still allegation until it is spoken otherwise.
Okay, now we have to round up. And I'd like to take you back. Okay, you were in ADC.
Yeah.
You spoke glowingly of the administration of Otuba Abiodun. Otuba Abiodun is in APC.
Yeah.
So why did you dump him?
I'm not done. He's still my boss. I had dinner with him during the Christmas time. He invited me and whatever. Otuba was in Lagos. What do I have? I want to have dinner with some of you that are still around. Some people left, because they are not treated well. This administration, and you work for this administration. I think our government should have a change of heart. Yes, you see, because a promise before man is promised. You tell people I'm going to do this for you, and at the end of the day, you say because of having all, then you can go to bed. Hey, you have to remember tomorrow. If you think it's not coming again, then I can write roughshod. People are going to deal with them. Well, it's not good for his image because he's going to do this August Francis. He's still coming back to meet all of us in the dungeon, in the city, whether in Lagos or in the states. Because we see there are times a governor will come to an occasion and there will be riots. The occasion will be, that some governor will come and just stop everything and be paid. So I am still advocating that the governor should disentangle himself from bad advices. Who will say, oh, these people does not matter. Hey, they say this program, they say as little as soldier arms is, people who can go all out for you, that you underestimate, you will not expect it when the time of record comes.
The governor has the power of life and death. So what can you do to him?
It's only God that has the power of life. I don't even think this governor, Prince Abiodun, such as principality. But I know that the sympathizer, those who are benefiting from it, like all these choice coming we're talking about, all these the transport association and all of that, they are all in the there's nobody for the central, and it's so distressing. So we are very, very unhappy about that. I don't want to mention their names because they are our brothers. I don't want to cause any friction between mega. Even when you trace my history, sometimes when my mother will begin to say, "Oh, they do a touching relating my language to the people, so we do I begin to wonder. I think all of this until I came into politics. It wasn't the evidence they say, "Oh, we get this share." Do you understand? So when you look at all of this, we are products, and we should treat ourselves fairly in this. For the good, in the interest of this entity or state, for its prosperity.
Okay. I want to thank you so much for your time. We wish you well. You are busy. Perhaps now we talked about one shot.
I don't know if it's not talking but a loud bang.
I was going to say you probably
No, I thought you know that one. struggle together from now. And because he who alleged is the audience is of him to prove. Because I cannot pinpoint, I cannot hold anybody because I have to run for my life. So I was there in the car, because of my cognition, I can identify it so easily. But be that as it may, I'm not saying if you are in the motion, because even at this point, I'm still finding it, I'm still struggling with myself. Can this happen? Why is it now? But he said, why don't you cry out when you started? That is why we have to cry out. And that is why we have to send petition to as far as the president, to as far as the IGN, and to the head of our security agents. But they call us and they try to give us still reason why all protected, especially in government information. That a little bit, that was my perspective.
Issues. It's okay. I was going to advise you perhaps that you should probably start considering wearing bulletproof, native bulletproof. You are the one that suits you the most.
I'm not even with government. We're not talking here. We're just trying to advocate for good governance and nothing else. So I should let everybody be after all. So I have a wife. I attempted my life. I think that person got it all wrong. He will have himself at his future. So, at my age, 16 plus, people dying every day. So if you die for a cause, then I become a political matter. So I don't have any regret. It is an appropriate for simple. And if our governor is still behaving as if it's probable, at this point, that is not accessible, it's unfortunate. But it's only an occasion that I get to meet my governor. When I was given GCOM or whatever, I took my flight, I bought my ticket, I identified with him. I had the evidence. We took the picture together. I flaunted all over the place. I go for shortly for a lot of it's not a appointment. Shortly if we like that, I go to a lot of go. I want to share one book. All of them they are calling me. Sometimes they say, automatically local, and God knows God is my witness. But fix all these people in some areas. Let them be particular of this good tidings. Then 2027 is there. But how can I be a leader? Because there has to be a leader before there will be followership. And there has to be followership before you can emerge or call yourself a leader. But in all of this, we have to do our best and leave the rest to God. But people have to be taken care or take off the streets. Our youths are engaging in rituals every day. They're engaging in 419, committing other atrocities, beheading people, exhuming dead bodies because of quick money. But if they have tangible things to do in their hands, of course they will be engaged. And that is the reason why we're having these issues with the government. The government, with his development task rights, engages some of the boys, the artisan, the food seller who even sell food for them, the bricklayers and all of them, they will get engaged. It might not be enough, but we are still taking some of the taxes off the streets by doing all of this. But when you give our job to a contractor outside and they bring their workmen from outside, it's a capital flight. It's a flight of our general patrimony. They are being paid for what we own. So governor should take inward retrospect about all of this. That why does this have to happen now? Whereas it has not happened in the past 6 years because we all pay Omega. When we notice all of these issues, we have to speak up of the good citizen of the state. And you know that when a good man refuses to speak, whether in a society or villages, then the rottenness continues.
But it's been a wonderful time with you tonight. I'd like to thank you for your time. And for you, thank you for you joining us. Like this, comment, share, let it go viral. We appreciate you.
Thank
We'll keep doing this for your sake. My name is Desmond. Desmond Wajibu. See you again.